This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV. I'm Derek Gilbert with 5 things you need to know for this Friday, October 18th, 2024. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you. Thank you. Please subscribe. Our address there is at 5 in 10. Hit the like button, click the bell for notifications, and then share with your friends. But please stick around after the break. We'll tell you how to make sure we never get canceled. Item number 5 this week, Israel. It came out on Thursday that Yahya Sinwar, the head of Hamas, is dead. He was encountered by a group of, trainees. As a unit training to be squad commanders operating in Rafah in the southern part of the Gaza Strip. They encountered Sinwar and 2 other terrorists, engaged, and he is no more. Sinwar had been heading Hamas in the Gaza Strip since 2017. He was the overall head of Hamas after July 31st when Ismail Haniyeh was killed in Tehran. But Sinwar, who'd been hiding underground since last October 7th, had come up apparently looking for supplies. This is some speculation, of course, but preparing for a long underground stay. He was caught out in the open, and he, again, is no more. There is a photo of what he looks like now, and trust me, you don't want to see it. What happens next, we don't know. Sinwar found with 40,000 shekels on him, that's about $10,000 US, wearing a grenade belt, and he was carrying a passport belonging to an UNRWA employee. That's the UN Relief and Works Agency. This, according to the New York Post. Not clear what he was going to do with this because the UNRWA teacher, Hani Zarub, looks nothing like him. It's not clear whether it was his actual passport or a forgery. Again, since they don't look anything alike, not quite clear what Sinwar was going to do with this. So here's the other interesting aspect of the story. The young Israeli soldier who fired the fatal shot was not even in the army when the war began. He's only been in the service in uniform for 9 months. So again, what happens from here, we don't know. Sinwar's deputy saying that we're not letting any of the hostages go until the war ends. Well, since that's the only leverage Hamas thinks it has at this point, it's very sad for the families of those 101 still unaccounted for, including several American citizens, but it's not likely that they are going to come home unless, by some act of God, Israeli soldiers encounter them in the tunnels underneath Gaza. Item number 4 this week, Kamala. Not a good week for Kamala Harris's campaign. Of course, news came out that her interview with 60 Minutes had been heavily edited by CBS News to make her answers look more cogent. Kudos to journalist Bill Whitaker for asking some good questions and probing for some follow-up, but CBS did edit those answers to make her look better. Then she sat down for an interview with Fox News' Bret Baier, and that was a disastrous interview. The pro-Hamas or the pro-Harris camp, there is some overlap there, but the pro-Harris camp saying that she went into the lion's den and schooled Bret Baier. Well, those folks were watching a different interview than the one I saw. She tried to stall, to filibuster the answers. Baier, knowing that they were on the clock, they were interviewing her after 5 p.m. Eastern time, and they were trying to turn the interview around for a 6 p.m. broadcast. Harris was late, and so the interview they had was already going to be shorter than had originally been agreed to. And while she was just spewing forth a non-answer, Baier, who was trying to get some actual answers before the clock ran out, was forced to interrupt her to try to redirect and get her back on track. And so he was not trying to be rude. I've been in that situation where you've got a guest who is wandering, maybe not intentionally, but wandering, and you've got to fit your interview into a certain amount of time for network broadcast. Anyway, it did not come across well for her, especially when he pressed her on what are you turning the page from since you've been in office for the last 3.5 years? And her answer was, well, Donald Trump's been running for office. What? Anyway, also this week, disastrous news, the evidence that she plagiarized large sections of her 2009 book, Smart on Crime. The New York Times tried to do damage control and said that independent journalist Christopher Rufo was way off base. He was wrong in his claims, but then it turned out that they were not disclosing everything that the evidence that he had presented, which is available on the web now. he and Austrian researcher Stefan Weber, who turned this up. Look, the book ironically titled now, Smart on Crime, because apparently Ms. Harris is not smart enough to know that stealing the work of other people is illegal and something that, as tolerant as we Americans have become over the last century or so, stealing other people's work is one thing that still really rubs us the wrong way. Topic number 3, the vote. Told you earlier this week that the Biden-Harris Justice Department is suing the state of Virginia, alleging that its removal of non-citizens and other ineligible voters from its voter rolls is illegal. Well, now the state of Florida is suing the Biden administration for refusing to verify records, immigration records, so that the state of Florida can ensure that its voter rolls only have citizens, as required by the state constitution. In the lawsuit, Florida argues that the Department of Homeland Security is required to respond to an inquiry from state and local governments wanting to verify immigration status of anyone in their jurisdiction for a purpose authorized by law, as in the state constitution, saying only citizens can vote. Well, it argues it cannot track and maintain immigration information on its own. States can verify information through a Department of Homeland Security program called Systematic Alien Verification for Entitlements program. Clever acronym, it's the SAVE program. According to the lawsuit, DHS and Florida have an agreement to allow the state to use SAVE, but they don't have specific identifiers for some of the people they want to check on, and so they've asked the Department of Homeland Security to help them out, and DHS says, nope. Well, we will see how this turns out. It's almost as though the Biden-Harris administration wants illegals and non-citizens and other illegal voters to go and cast their ballots next month. Topic number 2, migrant labor. Speaking of people in the country illegally, we've been telling you about this growing scandal of Haitian migrants being brought to small towns. Springfield, Ohio was the first one that popped up on the radar, but Charleroi, Pennsylvania, now the subject of a federal investigation. And we know personally from friends in southern Indiana of another town where a lot of Haitians have suddenly shown up and are working in factories there. Anyway, Charleroi, Pennsylvania, there are about 2,000 Haitian migrants working for a company called 4th Street Foods. Really, the way the media reports on this tells you a lot about their bias. For example, the New York Times on the left and the City Journal on the right, again, Christopher Rufo, independent journalist, doing a lot of good work here. The way they've reported on this illustrates the divide between the political left and the political right here in the United States. If you read only left-leaning news sources like the New York Times, you take away that Haitian migrants end up in small towns organically, word of mouth. Hey, there's work to be had here and places to live, and they're welcoming, and you get government benefits and stuff. Anyway, it's people, according to the New York Times and other left-leaning outlets, they're just looking for a better life. Now, if you read outlets that lean right, like City Journal and others like it, you take away that migration is, this type of migration is the result of unfair collusion between the federal government, throwing open the gates, publicly funded non-government organizations, NGOs, and private corporations who are working together to disrupt American communities, bringing in cheap labor, using American tax dollars to do it. And again, the headlines here, New York Times, quiet place in Pennsylvania, thrust into loud immigration debate. City Journal's headline, a troubled place, troubled because of the sudden influx of cheap migrant labor. This, the balkanization of America, only benefits the political class. They keep us divided instead of focusing on the fact that they're the ones responsible for a lot of the problems that we're dealing with. Coming up, here's why you should not send your DNA through the mail. I'll explain why next on 5 and 10.
Well, friends, we want to make sure you know how you can get your copy of The Dragon's Prophecy, along with, if you should choose to get the companion DVD box set right now, when you order The Dragon's Prophecy, Israel, the Dark Resurrection, and the End of Days. And it's available right now in the Dragon's Prophecy Master Collection. In this stunning new book, Jonathan Cahn will open up for the very first time ever end times prophecy to reveal the long hidden secret of the last days. The Dark Resurrection, The Colors of the Apocalypse, The Day of the Dragon, The Secret on the Mount, and much, much more. Also included in this incredible collection are Jonathan Cahn's all-time best-selling books, bound in beautiful hardback, The Oracle, The Jubilean Mysteries, that takes you on an epic journey through a mystery birthed in a Middle Eastern desert over 3,000 years ago that is right now determining the global events we're witnessing today. And The Paradigm, the ancient blueprint that holds the mystery of our times, that exposes the blueprint that can quite possibly foretell the outcomes of current events more accurately than any modern poll or expert, even including the outcomes of presidential elections. Sold separately, these 3 books hold a retail value of over $75 all by themselves. Yours now for your donation of only $39.99, which includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. But right now, you can upgrade your Dragon's Prophecy Master Collection to include the absolutely astonishing Dragon's Prophecy Uncensored 8-DVD album, featuring hours of additional totally uncensored raw materials and mysteries that are not included in the book. You'll not only hear additional end times revelations regarding what is yet to come upon the earth and how to be ready as the body of Christ, but you'll experience them with images, videos, and materials not found anywhere else. Jonathan discusses where America is in end times prophecy, what the next big prophetic event likely is, the arrival of the dragon, what Ezekiel 38 and 39 truly discloses, and much, much more. This 8-DVD set is exclusive and not available online anywhere, in any bookstore, or even on Amazon. This special upgrade includes all of the items from the Dragon's Prophecy Master Collection and the exclusive uncensored 8-DVD album, which altogether holds a retail value of $200. Yours now for your donation of only $79.99, which again includes free shipping to all U.S. orders. So don't delay. You can scan the QR code on your screen using the camera app on your phone for instant access to the Dragon's Prophecy Master Collection or the Master Collection with upgraded uncensored 8-DVD album. You can also visit us at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Dragon's Prophecy Master Collection or upgraded collection now.
Item number 1 today, don't send your DNA through the mail. Company 23andMe, one of the best-known DNA testing companies out there, is exploring a potential sale. They're running into some financial issues, and that could place the genetic information of its 15 million customers in the hands of new ownership. Now, the implications are important. Data privacy, potential misuse of sensitive genetic information. The 23andMe genetic database, which they've been building over the last 20 years, has a lot of information about customers' health, predispositions, and ancestral backgrounds. And while the company's privacy policies say they prioritize consumer consent, if they sell this information to somebody else, their priorities may not align with 23andMe's. Hello, Grace. This change could impact how DNA data is used, possibly opening the door to uses not envisioned by the people who sent in the DNA in good faith years ago, just trying to find out where they came from. This could be used by insurance companies, pharmaceutical firms, law enforcement. Again, good reasons not to share your genetics with private for-profit corporations. Skywatch TV's next virtual conference, The Resurrection War, goes live on the web on November 30th. Now, what that means is you get access to all of the video content, and for 90 days, you watch what you want to watch when you want to watch it. You set the conference schedule. Speakers like Pastor Carl Gallups, Messianic Rabbi Zev Poret, Ryan Pitterson, Carl Teichrieb, Dr. Judd Burton, Dr. Doug Hamp, Ali Siadatan, a new speaker in this gathering, Colonel David Giamona, Troy Anderson, Daniel Holdings, Mondo Gonzalez, Mondo de la Vega, Ricky Baker, and many more. You find, of course, all of us from Skywatch TV as well. You can find the list and sign up now and get a $10 early bird discount signing up through November 15th, just $85, $95 if you sign up after November 15th. More information and registration at defenderconference.com. Hamas in the Bible. Yes, they are there. Rabbi Jonathan Cahn explains as we discuss his jaw-dropping new book, The Dragon's Prophecy. That is this week's program on the main Skywatch TV show. You can find that right now at our website, skywatchtv.com. It's broadcast over the air this week. You can see the program schedule, when and where it's being broadcast at skywatchtv.com/channels. If you've got a set-top box, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, add the Skywatch TV channel to that, and you're good to go. All of our video content right there. Over the internet, YouTube at Skywatch Television, rumble.com/Skywatch TV, or download our free mobile app to your smartphone or tablet. All of our video content comes to you along with a bunch of other features like an audio Bible with multiple translations, calendar of upcoming events, and more. Also a link to our streaming video site where you can watch documentaries like Void Earth. Yeah, all of that in the palm of your hand, whether you're carrying iOS, Android, or Amazon Kindle Fire. We've got apps for all of those platforms and links to their websites, their app stores at skywatchtv.com/app. Follow 5 in 10 online at YouTube at 5 in 10, X, formerly Twitter, at 5_in_10. Oh, I almost forgot. Our new book, The Gates of Hell. It is available now. It is released officially, available to Amazon, all major bookstores. But of course, you can get it right now at our website, gilberthouse.org/store, and we sign all the books that we send out. So if you're looking for a copy, it is available now. And thank you for watching. As we keep watch, I'm Derek Gilbert. This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.